What's going on, guys? It is Lone Courier here today, and we're here with a little video about The Walking Dead because I figured I might as well make a video because I'm so into the TV series, and yeah, so here we go. Right, The Walking Dead. There's a new spin off, Fear the Walking Dead, and then there will be season 6 of the main show after that. Also, I'm just really excited and I'm just really thrilled that there is a new series and there's like a new family, a new set of characters that there is in the TV series because it's just refreshing. Because as much as a badass as he is, Rick, like it gets a little bit dull and one-sided at times. With the whole "I want to trust you, but I really doubt you because I have trust issues." And in my opinion, it's awesome that they've got this other set of characters in it that you don't know much about so far, and you can see them expand and grow as a character. But I'd say the main thing that I wanted to see from a Walking Dead spin off was most likely a different kind of series. You may be wondering what I mean by that, but what I meant was the Governor. The Governor. Now, I'm just going to say here, if you haven't really read any of the graphic novel series of The Walking Dead, you probably won't know much about the guy, other than he was a cutthroat, ruthless, steel-fisted fucking tyrant, basically, in the TV series. But if you've read the graphic novels, you'll know that he wasn't always that guy. He was a very different man beforehand, and then he just changed and became the governor, such as how Rick was a very trusting character at first, but now you can see he's this cold-hearted. He's also a bit cold-hearted as well, and he'd kill someone without even thinking about it. So it's good to see how characters develop. And in my opinion, they could have done this with the governor, but they didn't because it's a TV show. And at that time, there wasn't as many viewers as such as there is now. But in my opinion, it would have just been awesome if they had this separate series about the governor and how he came to be the governor. I because I've not read the comics, but I have read the book adaptation of the comics, and the ones that I have read are The Fall of the Governor and The Rise of the Governor. So I have read about what kind of man he was beforehand, before Woodbury, before all this stuff, and he was a very different guy. He was it was his brother that was essentially the governor, but he began to develop into what his brother is like, and then it just went on and on. But that's one thing I felt that they didn't really do too much in the TV series. They could have expanded further upon him, provided a deeper, richer background with a little bit more history of the man, and it just would have made me connect more with him as a character, because as much as a bad character he was, he's always that one guy that you like somehow. Because I'm not going to lie, David Morrissey did a fantastic interpretation of the character, and also that's just one reason that you like him so much. I mean, like, you'd love to hate him essentially, and he's not like that at all in the comics. You would have hated him in the comics if you loved him in the series, and it's just he's a completely different guy. And then, but it would have helped to connect more with the survivor element of everything if you understood him more on like an emotional level. Like with Rick, he's lost Laurie. There's all this shit that's happened to him in the past, and he's like with Shane and all that, and he's just seriously he's like a really different guy from what he was in back in series one. He's like, now he's just unfeeling, like, he does stuff without thinking, basically. Well, he does think it, obviously, but he just does stuff without even really contemplating everything behind it. You know how he used to be like, we can't kill humans, but now he would literally just shoot someone right in the face just for threatening one of his group. Now, he wouldn't have done that in the past, but he's a changed guy. And I felt like it would have been cool if they'd done that with the governor. Obviously, they can't now because the governor is gone. It's like they couldn't just bring him back, or it would be rehashing the past. But in my opinion, it would be awesome if they could have provided a little bit more background history with the governor. Okay, so that's that. I just like a little bit of lore. That's why I love the Fallout series so much. But I know a lot of people don't, and it just kept the story a little bit more comprehensible with only the governor in his state that he was in series 3. But with that said, let's move on to the next fact. The next stuff I'm going to talk about is the new series Fear the Walking Dead. I like the story so far. I've only watched the first episode because I'm not too sure if you have to subscribe to the channel AMC because it's now in the UK. But I have watched one episode of it so far, and it seems really, really strong so far. You know, like it seems very interesting. It seems a lot more interesting than season 5 of The Walking Dead did anyway, so I'm a lot happier with it. And I just like the way they're setting everything up. Like I like the feel of pre-apocalypse, and I like the feel of everything's starting to go to shit, but it's not quite that bad yet, you know, as it was when Rick woke up. And it's just so awesome that we're getting to see this unfold because there's too many apocalypse or zombie programs out there or movies even that are set after the apocalypse, but we never really get one that is during the apocalypse, you know, like with 28 Days Later, the guy wakes up after. I know that's not really necessarily zombies, but it's still one of the biggest apocalypse things I know on terms of movies. And you get that, and that is during, well, that is after he wakes up in a coma. He wakes up from a coma afterwards, and it shares a very similar introduction to The Walking Dead. But you get all these other movies that just are set after the apocalypse, everything's all fucked up, the world is fucked, but we never really get this view of the world just falling apart and just society going to shit. And that is just awesome in my opinion because we never get to see this too much from programs or movies. So it's awesome that we're getting to see this apocalypse, the fucking end of the world basically unfold. And yeah, it's just really interesting that that stuff's happening. The background character stories are pretty interesting so far. I like the guy that's the I don't want to sound like an absolute dick here, but you know he's the guy that's a drug addict, and he wakes up in a crack den, and there's zombies there, and obviously because everybody knows him as being a drug addict, no one really trusts him. But it did happen. You know, it's like it's a really it's a basic story, but is really gripping the way that it's done. And in my opinion, if this is the way that The Walking Dead season 6 is going to go, then I will be hooked. Because I'm not going to lie, Walking Dead season 5 didn't really hold much interest in it for me. It was the worst season by far. Yes, it had some awesome parts. Yes, it had this new community that the survivors are in. But in my opinion, it was too bland. You know, it had these action sequences, and then for the next 3 episodes, it was just really boring, mundane stuff. I suppose they have to do that to sort of set up the community feeling behind New Alexandria, but in my opinion, they could have done it to a little bit more interestingness. So it's awesome that they're just expanding more with these other side stories. And in my opinion, I just really hope that the new series isn't going to be as dull as season 5 was, because season 5 had that amazing opening episode, and then it just went downhill from then on. And yeah, there was one other episode after the mid-season break that had that action in it, but that was the only season that really had any kind of action in it. And it's just annoying because like The Walking Dead, I'd say my favourite season of it was probably season 3 or 1. As because those series they had action in them, but the scenes that didn't have still had interestingness to them. They still had an enjoyment factor, whereas season 5 of The Walking Dead really didn't. So it's pretty cool that they're expanding more. Well, I've said that it's pretty cool that they're just they're expanding more with the story. There's the new Rick slash Morgan feud, and that's going to be pretty fucking cool to see unfold. So in my opinion, the next season has to be good, or I've just lost a lot of interest in the program. But then again, it might not be. It might not be to my taste. Some other people might like it more than I do. But it's a TV program and it's not out yet, so we can't really make any harsh judgments just yet. But with the trailers I've seen so far, they definitely look a lot better than the ones for season 5 did. I mean, season 5 trailers weren't really that good in my opinion. I mean, like season 4 had a way stronger story to it, whereas season 5 just kind of like, yeah, we're depressed as fuck because there's no fucking stuff around here, and just characters being really annoying. Because I remember the majority of season 5, I was just pissed off so much at Sasha, and It's just the most annoying part of the series. I hope she gets killed off very shortly because she's definitely the weakest character. She's the least interesting and she does the least for the story. You know, her background story isn't really that interesting. And they've killed off her brother, so they might as well kill off her as well because let's face it, she's a really, really boring character. I mean, she's taken this shit like with Bob far too long. I mean, like, it took Rick less time to get over Laurie, his wife, and I mean, it's just, yeah, she's a really weak character, and I hope she gets picked off soon by a walker. So yeah, Walking Dead season 6 looks pretty promising so far. I really hope it's going to be as good as it looks. And I'm just mainly excited for Morgan being back in it because I'm a big fan of Lenny James. I think that's his name. He was in Snatch, he was in Jericho, and he's been in a lot of other stuff. And yeah, he's British as well. And you know, it's always cool having another British actor in The Walking Dead. If you don't know, Rick is British. It's Andrew Lincoln. His real name's Andrew Clutterbuck, but you know, apparently that's not a real actor's name, so he changed his name to Andrew Lincoln, which is now Rick. So yeah, that's just a little bit of side shit that you probably won't care about there. So yeah, season 6 of The Walking Dead looks really good so far, and the Fear the Walking Dead series looks really good so far as well. It's been really interesting, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and leave your comments down below and what you want to see for season 6, because I like to hear what you guys think, but I don't really get many comments, so. But I like if people could comment because it'd be pretty cool, you know. So, yeah, leave your comments down below what you want to see in it, season 6, and just tell me what you want to see from Fear the Walking Dead, what your expectations are, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys next time. It's been the Lone Courier. Peace out.